What's going on, people? It's your boy John. Now, I wanted to say a few things about this certain topic that so many people want to hear more about. Okay, women. You love talking about women. You love the videos about women. So I guess I'll make more fucking videos about women, even though I don't want to. I really don't want to, but there's just a few things from a conceptual angle which are interesting to know. Okay. Last year I went on one date. Okay, one date with a woman. But most of my interaction with women was through social connections, through hanging out with groups of friends and people coming over and going out and shit. And a lot of it was observation. A lot of it was acute observation of women and their natural behaviour. And of course my mum, who is a woman as well, demonstrates feminine nature in its entirety. All women are more or less the same. It doesn't matter how logical or emotional they are, they have the same neurotic ability and neurotic sort of being, and I'm not making fun of them. It is what it is, but it's a good way to describe the way things work. Okay, but these are the things that I learned about women last year, and I'm continuing to learn as well. Okay, a man's validation is everything to a woman. Okay, a man's validation is everything, and if you don't believe me, just go out and try it. Go and meet a woman and speak to her, have a conversation, but don't be validating her, don't be people pleasing, don't be trying to make a connection, don't be forcing a connection. Just talk to her. Just talk to her, smile, don't be an asshole, don't be a robot, but smile, but don't give your entire energy or being to her. If anything, just respond and ask questions, occasionally smile, occasionally give her a little bit of an emotion, but that's it. Be very be very reserved. Be very reserved and be very calculated and be very present and just see what happens. The woman will instantly try very, very hard to get your attention, and she's going to constantly be talking, constantly be asking you questions, asking you if you're okay, are you enjoying yourself, blah blah blah. It's very funny to see what happens, but a man's validation is everything. In fact, the woman that I almost got involved with last year, I reeled her in without me even knowing what I was doing, by simply being very avoidant, by being very reserved with how I speak to her and not giving her too much of my energy and just not spending as much time with her as well. Even though she was quite a decent looking girl, I didn't let that faze me. I stayed in my presence, I stayed reserved, I stayed stoic, and this woman was practically begging to get with me after a few months. Practically begging, because she couldn't find a way to reel me in. She couldn't find a way to get me to be her friend or to be her talker boy or whatever the fuck. She couldn't get it. She was trying very hard to reel me in like that, and most men fall for it. Most men fall for it because most men are simps. Most men want the woman's attention or validation more than she wants theirs. But trust me, a man's power is in his validation and your attention, and if you don't give it, the women naturally gravitate towards you. And that doesn't mean you can't be a funny guy or talk or have a fucking personality. It just means don't give all your attention and energy to them. They'll look for it. They'll look for it, trust me. And if they display signs of affection and massive people pleasing, which women do when they're in this state, you can't fall for it either. Yeah, you can throw a bone here and there and, you know, give a smile and a little wink or a little bit of eye contact, but that's it. You can't give any more than that. Okay, it sounds manipulative because it is, but this is how it works. This is how the dating game works, and this is how the social game works. So it is what it is. Don't take it personally. It's a game that you're playing. What else? Okay, talking too much. If you talk too much, you turn a woman off. If you talk too much, you turn a woman off. You can talk again. There's a fine line between talking and not talking. But talking too much, i.e. sounding like a woman, getting too excited, getting too hyper, getting too passionate, these things turn a woman off because you're starting to sound like a woman. So don't do it. Being too available, being too here, being with her too much, okay, this turns a woman off. If you start spending too much time with a woman, if she starts getting familiar with you, if you start telling her about your secrets, your insecurities and your problems, you're going to see the attraction go right down. And you're going to wonder where it went. You're like, what the fuck? This girl was all over me a few weeks ago. What's going on now? Well, it's because you've basically told her everything about you and there's nothing more to know. So what the hell is she gonna do? Women get with men because they want to get their validation. They want to satisfy their ego and say, you know, this is a guy that I can get. I can get this guy. They view men like a challenge, and they want to get you. They want to be able to get you. You shouldn't be wanting to get them. They want to get you. You can let your interest be known in subtle ways, and you can be direct at times, I guess, especially if you're on a date. But with women that you're hanging out with or working with or you're at school with, wrong way of going about it, because once she knows you like her, it's over. The game's over. There's no tension. There's nothing to do anymore. There's no challenge. There's no fight. There's no dance. It's just, okay, this guy likes me. Cool. I'll just put him in the back burner. I'll put him in the friend zone. I'll just talk to him and text him because he likes me. So every time I send him a message or show him a bit of attraction or a little bit of a wink here and there or an eye contact, he's gonna jizz his pants. So fuck him, man. I ain't gonna get with him. I'm gonna get with the dude who is not replying to my messages, who's not even giving me eye contact, who's not doing anything with me. Again, we're talking from a conceptual angle, so don't take every word as gold, but this is how it kind of works. Again, a lot of women, and the reason I have had a very low body count, to sound very superficial, and again, I've told you about this before, I'm not in this game for the body count. There's something in me that just says it's not okay. There's something in me. There's a part of me that wants it, there's a part of me that doesn't want it. And I don't know which one to choose. That's why I've just said, you know what, fuck it. Let the moment decide. If I'm in the moment and there's a girl and I want to get with her, cool, I'll get with her. If it's not, I don't want to get with her, I'm not going to force myself to get her. I'm not going to force myself to go for it. But a lot of women view me as very intimidating because I'm very silent, but when I talk like this. And a lot of men don't talk like this. A lot of men talk very soft. They talk very, they change their vocal tone to sound very submissive. I mean, there's no assertion whatsoever. And men don't really say what's on their minds anymore. They don't say how they feel or think about something, and they let the moment or whatever's going on dominate them. So me, I'm very different. I will walk out of the room if I don't like what's going on. I will cut someone off instantly if I feel that they're trying to do some stupid game with me. And women find this very intimidating, but at the same time, you are a man. You're supposed to be fucking intimidating to women. You're not supposed to be a goofball. Smile, yes, show that you're a gentleman, show that you're a man, show that you're social, show that you're charismatic, but don't be a people pleaser, because that's not what men are supposed to be. Men are supposed to be the utility of society. We're supposed to do things. We're not here to people please. We're not here to make people feel better. We're here to simply do what we're supposed to do and move on. Women's job is to people please and to make people feel good. Okay, you're not a woman, you're a man, so get that out of your system. What else? I think that's about it, to be honest. Spending too much time, again, and when you start having sex with a woman, vulgar, when you start having sex or you start being intimate with a woman, don't do that every day. Don't, because your sexual intimacy is your ultimate form of validation. Well, it's not really. It's more like her ultimate source of validation. But you can't be addicted to that, because she will use that to control you, and she will use that as a punishment for when you don't do things right. You will never, as a man, you will never do things right. Get that out of your system as well. You can never be perfect. You will never be able to satisfy every one of her demands and her desires, so just don't do it. Stick to your own being. Do what you feel is right for you, okay? And don't ever put her on the pedestal, okay? So reserve the sex for maybe once or twice a week. Keep your purpose on your game. Keep doing that, man. And don't get addicted to her, because the moment you get addicted to her, that's when she starts losing attraction, and that's when you start seeing signs of pulling back, signs of her being rude and disrespectful and dismissive of you and not replying to your messages and shit like that. Just stupid shit. Again, a lot of men, I'm getting this straight from Darius's video. He's a excellent guy when it comes to dating advice. Says it how it is, really. When women, if a woman's gonna cheat, she's gonna cheat. Most of men's insecurities and worries and stupid shit when it comes with women is due to competition. They're like, oh, if I don't act like a people pleaser, if I don't give her all my attention, if I don't talk to her every day, another guy's gonna get her. That's ultimately what's going on. It works the complete opposite way. The less you talk to her, the more she likes you. The less attention you give her, the more she likes you. The less energy you give her, the more she likes you. The less you message her, the less you contact her, the less you spend time with her, the more she likes you. because she has an abundance of dudes who are going to be with her 24/7 every single day of the week, giving her all that validation and being her pillow talk little soy boy, right? She's got that already, and she's going to try and make you into that. But when you don't fall into that little trap, which all women do, because women build a little empire of simps, they always do. This is how they've always been. They build an empire of simps, and they constantly put the pussy on the, they put it on the it's like a carrot with a stick. How do you fucking say it? It's the carrot, the stick, and the donkey. They've got the pussy in front of the guy's nose and reeling him in, but she's never going to give it to him, okay? But she gives it to the guy who's not following her, who's not bowing and caving to every one of her demands. Okay, this is what I've learned, okay? And I'm a guy that hasn't had a lot of dating experience. I've been quite single for a long time, and this is still what I've learned. This is what I've learned in small, subtle ways when I'm around women, and it works like a charm. Of course, now it comes to just making moves on the women that you like, because I'm a guy who's always had high standards. And yes, I fucked up with women who I've liked, and I haven't made the move because I was a pussy back then, so I'm not going to try and cover that up. But women now, if I find her attractive, if I find them appealing, I'm not really afraid to make moves on them. And because I realise it doesn't matter if it falls flat on its face or it goes somewhere, it doesn't really matter. It's just a part of the game, because it's a game you're playing. We're so invested in our poor little selves and our egos, we take every little word and every little movement from someone else as an act of violence, as a violation of our ego and our integrity. It's not. You allow anything that happens on the outside to affect you. So again, once you realize that little game, it's quite easy to do things, because the ego it's still there, but it doesn't have as much power over you as it did previously. Because before, when you were a fucking beta male, you couldn't even walk out of the house and make eye contact with a woman, because your ego was so powerful and controlled you with fear. You can do anything. But now the ego is like, you can observe it, at least you can see how it acts, and the being you, the present you, the man in you, the king in you is able to act a hell of a lot more powerfully than previously. Okay, but it's all a development, so don't expect to be at a certain stage. We're all at different levels when it comes to this. So yeah, just keep playing the game, keep enjoying your life, and make sure you don't validate women, because trust me, mate, when you realize that she wants your validation so badly and you don't give it to her, your life becomes so much easier, because women do all the fucking work from there on. I mean, it works like a charm. Anyway, that could be it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. Signing out.